15th Montville Board of Education meeting. Mrs. Sloan, roll call, please.
Dr. Cordolino, here. Mr. Daughtry,
Here.
Mrs. Fano, here. Dr. Modrak,
Here.
Mr. O'Brien,
Here.
Mr. Rappaport,
Here.
Ms. Zuckerman, here. Mr. Palma,
Here.
Mr. Grau,
Here.
Mr. Arena, Mr. Azinski.
Pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Sloan, the Secretary of Office.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Montville Township Board of Education provided a public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location that was posted at the Montville Township Municipal Building, all Montville Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, the Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Building, the district website, and advertised in the Daily Record, the board's official newspaper, on February 5th, 2022.
Thank you, Dean. We can see the next item on the agenda is the appointment of the district superintendent, and I'd like to read the following. The Board of Education opened the second round of superintendent search in January of this year and received 30 applications. First and second round interviews were conducted, and a final candidate was selected after a rigorous selection process. This evening, the Board of Education is excited to recommend the appointment of Dr. Thomas Gorman as Superintendent of Schools for the Montville Township Public Schools effective July 1, 2022. Mr. Gorman is currently serving as the Superintendent of the Ridgewood Public Schools. Prior to serving as Superintendent, Dr. Gorman served as a principal at Ridgewood High School for 8 years. His experience also includes service as an assistant principal, social studies teacher in several Bergen County districts. He also served as an adjunct professor at Ramapo College. In Ridgewood, Dr. Gorman was involved in advancing technology initiatives in the district funding, having received a grant of $653,000 STEAM Initiative alumni gift, which enhanced the district's support for social emotional learning and student mental health. Dr. Gorman is a published author and frequent presenter on various topics at educational conferences. He has been involved in numerous philanthropic and community board activities. The Board of Education looks forward to having Dr. Gorman lead the Montville Schoolship effective July 1st. And with that, I will now introduce the resolution that will be formally approved. Appointment of Dr. Thomas Gorman as Superintendent of Schools effective July 1st. Whereas the Montville Board of Education desires to employ Dr. Thomas Gorman as the Superintendent of Schools, and whereas Dr. Gorman is signed to serve as Superintendent of Schools, and now therefore be resolved, the Montville Township Board of Education does hereby appoint Dr. Gorman as the Superintendent of Schools effective July 1, 2022 through June 30th, 2027 at an annual salary of $240,000 and is subject to the remaining terms and conditions of the contract employment. And be it further resolved, Dr. Gorman's employment is subject to the terms and conditions of the contract of employment that has been approved by the Executive County Superintendent and which is hereby approved by the Montville Township Board of Education. And be it further resolved that the Board Secretary and Board President are authorized and directed to execute the employment contract on behalf of the Montville Board of Education. I would like to move that resolution. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Well, we've got to fight for a second. Okay. Before we vote on it, I would like to congratulate Dr. Gorman. I would also like to welcome his with him this evening, and it was a long time, it was a search. We went out twice, and I think we have an excellent candidate. It was a unanimous recommendation of the entire board. And I would now like to ask if any of my colleagues would like to say anything before we take an official vote, please.
Michael? Well, there's not much I can add, but Dr. Gorman, I just want to offer you and Maggie a very heartfelt welcome to becoming part of our family. Your credentials are impeccable. Your service to your communities and schools has been outstanding throughout the years. You have a long history of success, and we're very, very excited to have you here as, again, part of our family. Welcome again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. All right, if there are no others, I would now like to take an official roll call vote. Mrs. Lund, please.
Mr. Grau?
Yes.
Mr. Hama?
Yes.
Dr. Cordlino? Yes. Mr. Daughtry?
Yes.
Mrs. Spano? Yes. Dr. Modrak?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Aye.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Ms. Zuckerman? Yes.
You can see we have some people on the board. I would now like to invite Dr. Gorman, if you'd like to make some brief comments.
Yes, thank you so much for everything. I couldn't thank the board more. The whole process was so smooth, and we were so impressed with that. And I'm so glad you said about those comments about the family. I've known my wife here as a long-time educator at Ramsey High School, and she's a teacher. And it's so exciting. I did a lot of my research, when I was doing the whole interview process, trying to find out about Montville, and all that came back was positive. Positivity on all fronts. And that was really exciting. And my wife's advice that I shared with you in the interview process, she told me, don't mess it up. You know, so that's my first thing, don't mess it up. So, but I want to first congratulate you on your retirement. You've done an incredible job here for a number of years, and you're leaving a legacy that I just hope to continue in the years to come. So thank you very much for everything. And I believe in the 4 A's of education: the athletics, the arts, the academics, and the activities. And I think that balances out the individuals that we're trying to educate here. We want to educate the children in the highest quality environment and try to get them to the highest levels that they can do with their potential of the students. So, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're working with the teachers, the administrators, the town, the community as a whole, and all the parents here, as well as the Board of Education, to carry out the vision and the mission of this. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I really appreciate that. I can't wait for July 1st. Thank you.
You can feel free to stay.
Yeah, no, I want to see how this show. I want to see everyone on the show.
No high school representatives here this evening. It is Suffolk County High School. Superintendent's remarks.
I will, on behalf of the high school representatives, I will just indicate that I had the pleasure of attending the production of Grease last weekend. Phenomenal job, all of the students and staff involved across the board, whether it was the cast or the crew, did a phenomenal job. So, it continues a very long tradition of excellent drama and theater that take place at Montville Township High School. I will not make any further remarks because I know we have a discussion of the budget tonight, presentation of the budget, so I will turn things over to Mrs. Sloan for that.
Thank you. Next item is presentation of the tentative budget. As you know, this is the tentative budget which has to be submitted to the county office. They will review it, check it, and then return it to us. And we will have a public hearing and final adoption of the budget on April 26th. Is that right, Christine? That will be in the high school media center. It will not be at town hall, if I understand it.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay? So with that, I'd like to turn over the presentation of the tentative budget, which has been reviewed many, many nights by the Finance Committee. And I would like to turn it over to Renee and or Christine, whoever would like to start. Feel free.
This is an annual event, the creation of the budget for the subsequent year, and that process starts with the supervisors and principals at their local levels, providing us with a budget that they are proposing for the following year. We then compile that information and we organize it by functions in order to make it a little easier to understand. We have budgets in front of each of you that have the budget broken out by those various functions in the little tab sections. Those include instruction, student support, administration, operations, and capital improvements. The Finance Committee has already been through this budget, and I'm just going to hit the high points. We will go into a lot more detail as we present the public hearing on the 26th of April. So in terms of some of the high points, we will be including in this budget 3 additional elementary teachers due to changes in enrollment at the elementary levels. However, we will be doing some reduction in staff as we begin to transition out of the pandemic. We will be eliminating staff who were being hired specifically for social distancing within the schools, as well as virtual learning. With our new Director of Special Services, we have done a lot of streamlining of the special ed programs in order to improve the services provided to the students. We will be adding a part-time basic skills teacher and a part-time bilingual teacher, both of which are there for additional student needs. We are maintaining our programs for students on social issues and stress management, but we will be adding additional programs and services for behavioral, social, and emotional support. We do anticipate an increase in the transportation area due to additional costs related to hiring staff, bus drivers, which we've been struggling with all year, as well as the fuel increases. And we have spoken about the capital and maintenance improvements at earlier meetings. Those are included in this budget. They include the security work that we will be doing on the vestibule at Lazar, the gym windows and the gym panels at Cedar Hill, Woodmont, and William Mason. We will be doing an outdoor classroom as well as the entrance area at Valley View. And we will begin the next phase of our HVAC projects, which will include the replacement of unit ventilators that at this point are over 50 years old. And we are starting at Valley View with that particular project. We will also be doing some maintenance projects, which includes paving at Hilldale, William Mason, and Valley View this summer, as well as beginning to move inside. We've been doing a lot of work on the outside of the buildings. We'll be moving inside with painting and ceiling tile replacements at the high school in Lazar. You probably already know we had an increase in state aid, and so that has been captured in the budget as well. As a general overview of the budget, we cannot deficit spend, so everything that we propose has to be supported by some revenue stream, and the budget that we are presenting to the county is both balanced as well as compliant to the requirements as established by the Commissioner of Education. Inclusive in this budget is an addendum that will outline that budget, everything from the revenue streams that support the appropriations to outlining the capital and maintenance projects, as well as annually we establish the maximum travel and budget amounts for professional services. So that's all included in that particular resolution. The next step is that this packet will then go off to the county for their approval with no changes, hopefully. It will then be presented in this form at the public hearing on April 26th. I don't know if anyone has any questions. If you do, you can always call me.
I'd like to thank Katina and Renee for compiling the budget. It looks easy just to stand up here and sit here for 10, 15 minutes, and when you go to the public hearing, it'll be a little longer. But the number of hours and days that are spent putting this together cannot be appreciated unless you've actually done it yourself. I would open the agenda now to...
Charlie?
Yes.
would like to echo your thoughts about the work that's done by Mrs. Slint. I'd like to echo your thoughts about the work that's done by Mrs. Slint and the business office. It is a remarkable feat that every year we have a very lean budget, but a budget that helps our students continue to progress and really does give the citizens of Montville the best education that our kids deserve. So I want to thank you for all your hard work, as well as the business office.
Thank you. I would encourage any board member that may have a question before the public hearing, please feel free to contact Renee or Katina, probably Katina in this instance, and she'll make an endeavor to get answers to you prior to the night of the public hearing. Committee reports, finance and facilities. Karen?
Thank you, Charlie. There's really not much to add to what Katina has outlined. The committee has spent the last couple of months going over the budget in detail, which allows us to speak to the amount of effort that Katina and her staff put in. We met yet last evening, really putting the finishing touches on tonight's presentation. This is a proposed budget, and as Charlie mentioned, the public hearing will be on April 26th at the Montville Township High School Media Center. So again, thank you.
Thank you. Curriculum, Dave?
So we met this evening, right before this general meeting. We spoke about a number of topics, including a technology update. Austin Thompson was kind enough to come in and talk to us about the district's process regarding students' access to various programs, including YouTube and Google. We spoke to Erica Cirilli-Levine, who is our new Director of Special Services. She came in to give us an overview of what some of the goals that she has and some of the plans that she has for the upcoming year. She will be coming back in December. People are going to invite her back then, and she can give us an update. We talked about new textbook adoptions, calculus, French, Italian, and elementary social studies. Did pretty well, pretty good. We also got updates on the curriculum that has to be updated. We were given an extra year by the state due to the pandemic, so we have to get busy on those curriculum. They are going to be aligned to the 2020 New Jersey Student Learning Standards. And we have a list of them on the for us to review. If any of my fellow board members care to take a look at them, they are available to review.
Thank you, Dave. Mr. O'Brien? Policy personnel?
We have not had a policy meeting since the last board meeting. And as far as personnel, we have a new superintendent, so this is a successful committee.
Thank you, Mike. Communications, Michelle?
No.
Mike Rappaport, Safety and Security?
No report.
Liaison, School Boards, Karen?
Thank you, Charlie. Friday night, the Board of Directors of New Jersey School Boards will meet to conduct business. Just a reminder that workshop this year will be in person, fingers crossed, from October 24th through October 26th. The registration opens on April 4th. There is a group registration, and up to 25 team members can attend. That means all 9 of us, our superintendent, our assistant supes, etc. So I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible in Atlantic City in October, and let's keep our fingers crossed that we can maintain the current plan to have it be in person.
Thank you. Mr. O'Brien, Morris County?
No report.
Educational Services, Joe?
Yes, we met last Wednesday virtually and just discussed the 22-23 budget.
Thank you. Drug awareness, Mike?
Yes, we met on the 9th last Wednesday, and among the things we talked about were setting up a meeting with the high school principal to discuss the possibilities of doing something post-graduation. There hasn't yet been any decision yet on project graduation or project promotion, as well for that matter. We did approve funds for the living lesson speaker, and that's really about it.
Thank you, Mike. Marvel Athletics, Mike?
The boosters meeting was canceled for March. They said they promised to complete one
When is it, April?
the first Wednesday
First
of
Wednesday?
April.
Liaisons to Cedar Hill, Karen?
The home and school is having a meeting tomorrow night.
Hillway will report, Valley View, Joe?
No report.
Mason, Christine?
Their next HSA meeting will be on March 21st.
Wilmot, Mike, Palmer?
No report yet, meeting later this month.
Lazar Middle School, you can vote back for a run.
No report.
High School, Rappaport or Zuckerman?
Their last meeting in the year will be May 9th, but, the PTC until that time will be supporting the schools they always do with various senior and peer programs. Looking forward to hopefully being able to do more traditional appreciation of the teachers coming up in May. But I guess one big thing is I know most of the members here did get to attend the performance of Greece last weekend, and despite difficult circumstances, it was flu outbreak, not COVID. I guess we should be clear about that. Much of the cast did end up sick with the flu. Despite that, they gave another stellar performance, as they always do with the high school. The kids were amazing, what they worked through, and anyone who went really was in for a treat. So it was very, very proud of all those kids.
Thank you, Michelle. The practice of public participation. We'll open up for any items on the agenda. Any member of the public has a question, please come forward. Identify yourself, speak into the mic.
Good evening. Scott Riago, Roxbury resident, MTHS history teacher, MTEA president. On behalf of myself and the entire association, I would like to thank Dr. Rovtar for her many years of dedicated, committed service. It has been a distinct privilege and pleasure to work with you collaboratively, cooperatively, collegiately over these last years. I would like to thank the board for its due diligence in selecting a new superintendent, who, as it turns out, is also a Bourbon County guy like myself, and also a social studies guy like myself. I would like to welcome Dr. Gorman as wife, also a fellow educator, and I look forward to working with you in the same spirit with which I worked with Dr. Rovtar, effective July 1st, and hopefully for many, many years to come thereafter. So thank you all.
Thank you, Scott. All right, I will entertain a motion on items I through
So
M.
moved.
I through M, and there's an addendum, K8, which is a new one.
So moved. I'll second.
Any questions on I? J?
Charlie, I would just like to make a comment about J3 in particular. I am extremely humbled and honored that the board would nominate me for this award. It warms my heart. I thank you.
Very well deserved.
You get 5 votes, Karen, finally. Congratulations, well deserved. I hope everything works out.
If I could say that, Charlie, we don't usually do this, but I would like to, to a certain amount, read to the public some of the reasons that we've nominated
Well,
Campbell.
they have an agenda.
They have agenda in the public?
Yeah, it's in the agenda.
Okay.
Okay?
You're not having on screen,
But there are a lot of reasons.
but a lot of very many reasons.
Long list of accomplishments.
Very long list.
Yes.
Very, very,
Very well deserved.
who's good? Be there now. Okay, item K, remember the addendum, K8. Okay, L. And M. there's nothing on N, the policy, so we can please call the roll.
Mr. O'Brien?
Aye.
Mr. Palma?
Yes.
Dr. Cordlino?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry?
Yes.
Mrs. Fana? Yes. Dr. Modrak?
Yes.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Ms. Zepperman? Yes. Mr. Grau?
I abstain on the minutes from March 1st since I was sick and unable to be in attendance. Okay? Everyone else voted? Thank you very much. Section P, which is closed session, there's no need to go into closed session. Section Q, old business of the board. R, general board comment and new business.
I just wanted to update the board. We are really very close to reaching our goal of $1,000 as part of Relay for Life. So if anyone would like to contribute, so we can push ourselves over the top, it would be greatly appreciated. I know some of you may have difficulty entering the site and registering yourself, and I can certainly assist with that, so just reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. As public participation, is an opportunity for people to ask questions on anything that is not on the agenda. Again, if you're interested, please come forward. Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much, and again, congratulations, Tom and Maggie.